Your car makes a noise you've been ignoring, a dull, grinding sound. You turn the radio up. Then, one morning, it doesn't start. The mechanic says it's a $300 repair. Nothing fancy, just a worn-out part. But you don't have $300, so you put it on a credit card at 26% interest. Then rent is due. The credit card is maxed. You overdraft your checking account. That's another $35 fee. Now the car is fixed, but you're behind. Next month, the minimum payment jumps. You're late once. Your credit score drops. 6 months later, that $300 repair has quietly turned into $2,000, maybe more. Not because you're irresponsible, not because you're bad with money, but because you didn't have cash at the exact moment life demanded it. This is how poverty works. It doesn't hit you all at once. It spirals. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This is not bad luck. This is not personal failure. This is a system that makes being poor more expensive.
We're often told a simple story about money. If you're struggling, you must be doing something wrong. Spend less, work harder, budget better. But that story ignores something critical. Poverty has a hidden cost. Not just emotionally, not just socially, mathematically. There is a real, measurable penalty for not having money. Economists sometimes call it the cost of being broke. It shows up as higher prices, higher interest, higher fees, and fewer options. And before we go any further, let's be clear. This has nothing to do with laziness or intelligence or willpower. You can do everything right and still pay more simply because you have less. Poverty isn't just low income. It's a condition where every mistake costs more, every delay is punished, and every emergency becomes a crisis. To understand how deep this goes, we need to start with a simple story, a story about boots.
Imagine two people. One has money. One doesn't. Winter is coming. Both need boots. The first person buys a solid pair, $100. They last 5 years. The second person can't afford that. They buy $30 boots. They look fine at first, but the sole cracks after one winter. Next year, they buy another pair, and another, and another. After 5 years, the first person spent $100. The second spent $150. Same winters, same snow, but one paid 50% more for worse boots. This idea comes from a concept often called the boots theory. When you're poor, you're forced to buy what you can afford today, not what saves you money tomorrow. This shows up everywhere. Cheap clothes that fall apart, used appliances with no warranty, phones that break and can't be repaired. Each purchase feels cheaper in the moment, but over time it costs more. Poverty turns short-term survival into long-term loss. And the cruel part? You don't feel the extra cost immediately. It leaks out slowly, like a drip you don't notice until the room is flooded. The boots are just the beginning. Let's zoom out. Food. If you have money, you buy in bulk. If you don't, you buy single items. A big bag of rice costs less per pound. A family pack of chicken is cheaper. But bulk requires cash, and storage, and transportation. So if you're broke, you pay more per meal. Banking. If you have savings, your bank is free. If you don't, you pay to exist. Overdraft fees, minimum balance fees, check cashing fees. You're charged because you're short on money. Credit. Good credit means low interest. Bad credit means high interest. And what destroys credit fastest? Being broke. Miss one payment, score drops. Rates rise. So the people with the least money pay the most to borrow it.
This is the poverty premium. It's like inflation, but only for certain people. Two people buy the same things, live in the same city, work just as hard. One quietly pays more for everything. Money doesn't just buy stuff. It buys time and mental space. When you're poor, everything takes longer. You wait for buses instead of driving. You go to 3 stores to find the cheapest price. You sit on hold with customer service to fight fees. Every task costs minutes, hours, days. Then there's the mental load, constant calculations. What can I skip? Which bill can wait? What happens if this goes wrong? Psychologists call this scarcity mindset. When resources are tight, your brain focuses on survival, not planning, not optimization, just getting through today. And stress has a cost. It leads to worse decisions, missed opportunities, health problems that become medical bills. Poverty isn't just a lack of money, it's a tax on your attention.
Now let's talk about the traps. Cars. If you have good credit, you get a normal loan. If you don't, you get buy here, pay here. High interest, weekly payments, GPS trackers. Miss one payment, the card disappears. Housing. Renting isn't cheaper in the long run, but owning requires savings and credit and stability. So many people are locked out. Rent goes up, wages don't. You pay more for less control. Credit scores. Credit isn't just about loans. It affects jobs, housing, insurance. A low score doesn't mean you're risky. It often means you are already struggling. The system treats past hardship as future danger, and the cycle repeats.
So what actually helps? Not hustle culture. Not just invest. Not pretending the system is fair. The first weapon is a buffer, an emergency fund. Not $10,000, not financial freedom, just $500 to $1,000. That small amount changes everything. A car repair becomes inconvenient, not catastrophic. A medical bill becomes manageable, not life-altering. The buffer breaks the spiral. It doesn't make you rich, it makes you stable. And stability is power. We need to change the story. Wealth isn't luxury cars. It isn't passive income screenshots. Wealth is resilience. It's not panicking over $300. It's sleeping without dread. It's having room to breathe. If you're struggling, the problem isn't you. The system charges you extra for being vulnerable. So don't attack yourself. Attack the penalties. Build buffers. Reduce exposure to traps. Buy time and peace before chasing growth. If this helped you understand your situation with more clarity and less shame, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more honest conversations about money, systems, and survival, subscribe and like the video. Not to get rich, but to stop bleeding first.